want to make sure they do.
Yep, and in that game, I feel like Soren was just really able to set things up. The tempo was there, and he led his team earlier. So I'm looking out for Pagu this time to do exactly the same, because it's hard to fight against this team who's currently riding on the momentum.
Yeah, we also didn't see a whole lot from Lunar last game, and in some of their big victories, Lunar was really able to shine. And last game, I don't think we saw a single big Way of the Dragon from him on the Cho.
I mean,
I
he
don't know
stopped
if
the Hayabusa quite a lot, you know?
Fair.
Yeah,
fair.
the Hayabusa bit was good, but then after that, he couldn't catch a break.
When it really mattered,
yeah.
like, I don't know. And I think towards the end, you really needed to get nets. It was hard to get to it either way.
Yeah.
I think Lunar needs to be that guy right now. Like, he needs to be the one who is able to change things around, because what we saw from Smooth last game, the opponent EXP laner, Smooth carried the early game and set them up to be where they were in the mid.
Oh, so
Let's talk about the bans here, Brigida.
yeah, I mean, wait, adding up to that, should we be seeing perhaps Lunar get hold of more of his comfort picks, like the Phoveus Edith? Because I think they've been trying to go with that for the past few games. But again, now it's a different draft we're seeing. It's first time S2G is actually going to play on the red side.
They choose it.
So, vamos, they can decide to... Oh no, the Cho's not there anymore.
I mean, if the Bruno is open, maybe
But the Bruno is open, they
they'll
might,
pick out the
yeah.
Bruno. If the Bruno is not open, perhaps Chibi will pick up something like the Suyo, because we got to talk about the bans here. Coach Pops betting out the Hilda shows that they do want an assassin still. Betting out the Fanny, because like, they probably didn't thought that the Fanny was possible, but they have shown, and they don't want the Bruno themselves. So they themselves ban out the Bruno, so they don't want to risk it for picking it. And now looking at S2G, full-on respect ban here. The glue was annoying. There's no way for you to fight against that. And then they ban out the Cho as well.
Do we get to see Warlord on the Jushin, possibly, for this game?
I mean, Vamos has put them in a very sticky situation, right? Because you have the Jushin, the Yve, and hopefully, I think SUG is hoping that the Bruno stays open, so they went out on the red side trade. But at this point, Jushin's definitely a possibility. Do they ban it?
Personally, for me, I would not pick up a mid first pick here. Because both Eve as well as Jushin is open. So maybe pick up something like the Suyo.
Suyo here, so
Yeah.
the Alpha's banned.
And then let S2G pick whatever mid they want, and then you just fight back.
Yeah, I mean, if they do take the Suyo here, then they can respond with something like the Jushin.
Yeah.
They can still get Hylos is still open. So SUG still gets a decent trade up here overall.
And I mean, even the Mathilda combo is actually still
Mathilda's
possible
open too.
right now. So if ever they do not want to go for the jungler yet. So I think Vamos, they're really trying to think about what to prioritize in the first pick. So they go for the
Valentina first pick.
I mean, comfort. It looks like even from game number 1, Vamos is all about comfort. They're not going to stray too far away from the meta, but they are definitely going for comfort here. But this does show that S2G, they have a lot of options. They pick up the Suyo, what we predicted to be the first pick.
Suyo Jushin here, you just go for the Suyo Jushin, something like that.
I mean, Jushin you can
or
pick up later.
Hylos, yeah.
Hylos, so possible. So Warlord can get his hands on the glorious pathway again, but this time around. But we're not entirely sure what Soren's planning to actually show us.
Don't pick up something yet.
But we're probably not expecting him to get anything soon. So do they go for the Nets hero this time, or do they want to hide it again later on? Because I mean, earlier, even though it was reserved for the last or the second phase,
Hayabusa.
they were able to still get his comfort. So yeah, they just hide it.
I mean,
either way.
the Cho is not there anymore unless S2G wants to pick up the Jawhead. Right? So right now, the Hayabusa is a little bit more freer this time.
And I think there's a big chance that Vamos could take the Jawhead once again if S2G doesn't ban it out or take it themselves. Because once again, if this Hylos ends up in the mid, it does well against it. It can just throw it away. And now same thing with the Suyo. S2G does wrap up their first half of the draft with this Jushin. So just overall, I mean, this is game number 1. We saw S2G get a lot of meta picks. Vamos sticks with comfort. They win. Once again, S2G getting some picks that a lot of teams are going after. Can they execute it, though?
Oh, my only worry is how would Vamos play the mid duo again this time if they are up against the Jushin and potentially a Hylos, which can be really aggressive in the laning as well, for the early stage at least. And you have a Valentina, which isn't that high in terms of range, but at least you have a Hayabusa. but it'll be kind of tricky to find the Jushin, especially if she's always surrounded by those other front lines here for S2G.
Helkert. What if?
I don't like it.
What if?
I don't think it's it. Maybe we'll see. It hasn't been working for them, so I don't know. I would have PTSD if I was them picking it up. But I do think the Valentina, you can still dash. You still have some abilities to get out of the lantern distance and everything. You still have good wave clear. So I'm not against it, and I think as long as they get something that can move as well, Matilda also still Matilda is still open.
Always forget.
S2G is first pick, so we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, but again, like honestly, maybe they do have a world where they just pick up the Jawhead again, the Jawhead and carry. Because again, this is all about comfort for Vamos. I can see a carry coming up again because the high loss has been shown. Earlier, the Jushin might be a little bit annoying for the carry to deal with, but once the carry gets the Malefic Gun, it's probably not that big of an issue anymore.
And now we're just waiting for Vamos and their potential last ban, still respecting Khalid. I'm also thinking of like if ever they want to pick it up for themselves.
Obvious.
Since we're yet to see Net's hero, we'd also probably want additional mobility for him. And since they only have the Valentina so far for magic damage, they might want to consider that.
But because the Khalid and Phoveus has banned, this does make it feel like the Gator is going EXP.
I mean, and it's Vom. I think they could still. I think most likely Gatat's EXP. I think they want something
as long as it's not mid,
with
I'm
a
good.
bit more crowd control on.
I mean, there's the Valentina, so it's
on zone. Hopefully, S2G I think is going to save gold lane for last pick here. Maybe get some counterplay in. Maybe get something. Have a little bit more ability of what kind of roam or EXP Vamos will have. Seeing as Vamos is pretty flexible still right now with the Gatot, it might just be the better pick. S2G does lock it. They go for the Moskov instead. So I don't know. It's a little risky for me showing that this early.
No, I was thinking of Moskov as well, but I was also thinking it was the last pick. But yeah, showing the Moskov early here, probably just saying there's no way they're not picking anything other than a carry. And carry as well as Moskov relatively have about the same range, so no one really has a big advantage there. It's just about who is more aggressive on those trades.
Yeah, so is he really just going to go for the carry instead and stick with the comforts here for Vamos?
Stick with the Jawhead?
Their lineup feels really similar to like their first game. It's just except we don't see the glue. It's a Gatot Kacha, but they can kind of like they have a lot of similarities in terms of how you.
I mean, if it's not broken, why fix it?
Yeah, it is.
Very true, and I think they have. I mean, they still gives them everything they want. They still have a box that can sit around and carry.
Oh,
okay. So
this is one of Smooth's specialty, by the way.
Good specialty or bad specialty?
As in first phase ban. Specialty.
Okay.
So that's good.
So, but it's aggressive, right? I mean,
it is
it going to go hybrid? It's just, it feels like it might not give the box that carry needs, right? That's my worry. It might not give the protection that carry needs in mid game.
But there's a lot of threats here.
Yeah.
The only, like, Gato Gacha is kind of a threat, but at the same time, compared to everyone else here, it's a threat. So how does S2G respond? The Hylos can still go either way. It can go EXP, it can go in the roam position. Now, S2G, they have 15 seconds to make a choice.
What else is there? There's what?
Edith?
CC, Edith. You'd have to be really careful for the eye for an eye, just in case you're S2G. So they go for the CC. So at least they have some sort of access as well to the backline, similar to what we're probably expecting from. Wait, okay, I thought it was Warlord.
And they can keep up with the rotations of the Benedetta. You have a pretty fast-moving hero. You have someone that can kite around and at least mechanically deal with the Benedetta.
This is a risk, but this is one of Lord Smooth's best hero. Thank you very much to our panelists. Now we're throwing it over to Ingan as well as Naisu.
A signature hero for Smooth, bringing it at the game that is match point now for Team Vamos. We'll see if they can make it happen with this one, or if S2G can bring us to a game number 3. That's what we'd love to see, of course, going the distance, 3 games. We get a glimpse of the lineups here by both teams. Once again, everything on the line. It's not over just yet as we load up into the land of Dawn to battle it out. Once again, S2G Esports wanting to go forward. Team Vamos as well sees it on the glimpse as we load up in the land of Dawn. Game 2 here. Can Team Vamos do it and bring it all together?
Looking at the lineup, I like it. When push comes to shove, you know you have to boil down to the basics. You have to go down back to your comfort. And with Smooth's signature Benedetta, You know, Team Vamos can go with their usual rotations of being aggressive, being fast with their rotations. Especially since this is smooth. Okay, but speaking of early rotations, Lunar pops his Vengeance right away.
Don't tell me.
Oh.
He doesn't want to fight that, does he? He got the Vengeance out. Smooth, though, again. If you've been watching Team Vamos leading into M6, like LaFell mentioned, this is one of his signature heroes.
And
loves to play it. And the damage one, yeah, that's to be the fact. Oh, no.
Oh, go. Chibi, plus the Petrify, as you were saying, and the damage one. It was a smooth play, trusting Chibi that he'll be there right on time for the Petrify and eventually the burst onto Lunar.
Oh, that's such a big early play already in the hands of Smooth for Team Vamos. You know, in that lane alone, getting that little bit of advantage against Lunar is going to be playing a big part of things here. Now, part of this, too, is the fact that, yes, you know, this time around, you've got Pagu rolling around in the Hylos. They're going to have to match some of that momentum that was already started this early on. We take a quick glimpse. So, hold on, Lunar in trouble again? Whoa! My goodness, Ingon, they're not joking around here.
Not joking around. They know that their power spike may be on the top lane. Smooth right now is their win condition in the early game, and Chibi knows that. That's why they keep rotating onto the top, not giving Lunar a really good time. And when it comes to objective, especially the first two turtles, the XP laner needs to be aggressive, needs to be active. And with a 0-2 start from Lunar, it's going to be hard for S2G.
This is massive already. They're going to fight for the turtle, though. It's going to get broken down. Easy turtle. I mean, this just seems like it's getting to a point now where S2G is forced to go fight for these objectives and even things out.
Yeah. For Team Vamos, they didn't look for a trade instead. So right now, they're playing at their pace. They know that it's okay to trade the first turtle because they have a slight advantage, but Smooth might get caught here by 4 members. An eye for an eye might be able to save him out. One more hit and starts the comeback of S2G, and a Wiggy shadow kill to Chibi, but Team Vamos answers right back.
Like we've seen already in game 1, this is the story for both teams, just duking out all across the map. You know, Smooth goes in, and he was feeling pretty confident after those first portion of the game, but this is actually enough now for Lunar to get a little bit, you know, of the resources that he needs, get caught up. He got a little bit of extra gold, of course, there too. And as long as Lunar adjusts from this and doesn't keep getting punished on the top side in that XP lane, then he can go ahead and make the grounds that he needs to make, because early game, he struggled already off the bat. Might have to rely a little bit on Causeway to go ahead and help him out, but for the most part, you slow it down, you bring it back in your favor. Lunar, though, look at this.
Going 1v1, Yo-Yo Blitz coming in from Lunar, so Smooth has to walk away. But again, same strategy. Smooth doesn't have his Petrify. Will they commit though? Like the final blow, but Lunar has the Vengeance. Chibi goes in. Will he commit the Wiggy Shadow Kill? Just waiting for the Vengeance to pop off, and here comes the Wiggy Shadow Kill! Chibi takes down Lunar once again! A 0-3 start for Lunar. Not looking good for S2G.
Yeah, just as I said it too, you know, that's not where you want to be in that situation. You just grab some equalization and then they fall behind. Oh, Pagu, he's going to have to pop the Glorious Pathway defensively. So they hold it together, but this is all part of the plan for Team Vamos. Oh no.
Warlord has his own Glorious Pathway, forcing Beacon to use the Crimson Beacon out. And now Team Vamos, first turtle. They traded for the turtle instead. They didn't contest, and this time it looks like after Chibi gets his orange buff. But S2G knows this, that's why they're trying to burst down the second turtle.
They're going to go for it, actually. Already Smooth, trying to delay them a little bit longer. There's the jump on in. Warlord gets the turtle, and now Zorn on the run. The rest of the team's going to join.
Wiggy Shadow Kill on to begin again, but there's a Revitalize though. Warlord just trying to keep them at bay. Will they go for it once again? Smooth waiting for the perfect opportunity to cast out like the final blow. He doesn't. He has the Purify though. And now Team Vamos, when you thought that they were just going to trade out the turtle because Chibi was going for the orange buff, Warlord says, I got this, Chibi. Don't worry about it.
He's got it locked in, and that's what they needed. Getting one of the objectives at least, you know, 1-for-1 for the turtles on both sides. Smooth going to go ahead and cut this wave in. He did get the Blade of Hepsi, so he might actually look for a 1v1 again against Lunar if he decides to go for it. Looks like he's going to pop the Electro Final Blow. Vengeance also gets away enough, but here's TV again. Just visits up top and gets another kill.
It's like the same play over and over again 3 times.
It's like it's
the
choreographed.
concept is Smooth is gonna go for and try to go for the 1v1 up against Lunar, force out the Vengeance. Then when the Vengeance is all used up, Chibi goes in with a Wiggy Shadow Kill. 4-0-1 for this Chibi, and
like
this
a
is
tag team.
beneficial. Yeah, because Chibi has a Sky Piercer, so now he has 40 stacks, and Team Vamos looking good with a 2K gold lead.
All part of it. Pagu once again trying to be that front line, of course, for S2G. Scout things out. They know that because of what's happened to Lunar, Lunar is essentially just shut down, man. Like, he's not in a position where he's going to be having a good time at all. And even if he jumps into the fights later on towards these objectives, then he's probably going to get melted down. That's the situation for Lunar. Later on, when he gets some of the items and catches back up, then maybe, you know, we've seen this before with the CC where they can turn the fights around. But right now, he's kind of forced just to sit there, clear out those waves topside. And this turtle, though, you can already see Team Vamos getting in position. They know that S2G isn't really in a fighting position to go toe-to-toe. So as long as they have the numbers advantage and they just blitz this turtle, they should be fine, be able to secure it. Warlord still holding on to the Glorious Pathway. Turtle's going to be worked on, and they're not going to get there in time as Chibi will secure the last turtle of the game.
Oh, that was close. Two Glorious Pathway colliding onto the bottom lane, forcing out Sigibum and Pagu, and this is the sword we all know. Raja emote with the signature recalls. And right now for S2G, ideally, you saw that Team Vamos keeps rotating on the XP lane.
Yeah.
As much as possible, you want to see Kazue begin and Pagu 3 mid rotation to be to at least control the mid lane or go for a cross map play onto the bottom lane. But we haven't seen any rotation coming in from S2G so far.
Kazue gonna be on the run. Smooth though, gonna work for it. Kazue's gonna be fine, but you can already see the glimpse. Look at the glimpse of the XP lane difference. This is what I was talking about, Lunar. So they're gonna have to try to catch up. Tier 2 turn in the bottom lane gonna be worked on, and now S2G trying to hold on.
Okay, here's the Glorious Pathway. They're gonna stun Warlord though, but here comes Chibi though. He can't go for the backline. Sword just trying to keep them at bay right now as Nets continuing the speedy light wheel, and look at the damage coming in from Nets. That was almost close. Here's the destruction!
It goes on in! And they find multiple things now in the mid lane. I'm surprised Warlord was just walking around, scooting around at that much health.
The thing is, the Spear of Destruction didn't even connect. It was Kazue delivering the final blow, but a quick response for Team Vamos. And now Smooth doing a lot of things right now, trying to get the orange buff away from S2G Esports. So far, that was just the second response from S2G. And with the current lineup that Team Vamos has, this might not even reach the late game, Naisu.
They're going to have to stall out here. That's what S2G also needs to do. As things are slowly but surely slipping out of the hands, going towards Team Vamos here, which really was on the, you know, the blades, the shoulders of both Smooth and Chibi in the early game, and now the rest of the team is really profiting from this. Despite Warlord going down there, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean too much because S2G still has a lot of ground to cover. You can already see the difference here in every single lane, pretty much just the mid lane there, relatively even in the roam, but now the Lord for the taking, and notice where Smooth is. The rest of the team gonna go ahead and keep S2G kind of zoned out from this. I'm not sure if there's even an angle. Looks like we're gonna take a little breather here while we take this time to adjust things for the players, of course, before this Lord gets taken up. Looks like it might be over here for S2G, but that's the thing, man. I mean, looking at this, the Lord already, they're not in a position here, they're not in a position really to contest it. I don't think they will. It looked like, you know, with it already being less than half health, it's just going to be secured here by Team Vamos, and then it'll be up to the situation for S2G to go ahead and defend. And if we look at that lineup that they have, do you think this is enough? Like, Lunar, like I said, Lunar, he's not, like, all he has is a War Axe? He's got level 2 boots, of course, but he's got a War Axe. That's about it, for the most part. And so, even if he throws his body into this fight from Team Vamos when eventually that Lord is secured, once that vengeance is down, like, he's going to get blown up. You know, he's going to have a hard time, and the rest of the team is also just going to rely on Pagu to be that front line for them, but he doesn't even have his first item complete.
Yeah, and that's the thing. S2G really needs to extend this game to eventually have a macro advantage, especially since they have the Moscow. But just looking at the grand scheme of things, we really had to commend Smooth. I mean, game 1 performance, the panel even mentioned it, they really commended Smooth with the glue, giving them an early lead. And this is the same thing that what happened during game number 1. Smooth's play, this is not even macro, micro plays up against a Lunar, going for the up against Lunar with the CC, going with the lethal ignition plus the petrify. wants to dominate the early game, and with the help of Chibi was activated early on. The Sky Piercer really is bang for the buck right now for Chibi. 550 stacks already with the Sky Piercer. So at this point, S2G, they're playing reactive because we haven't seen any much big rotations coming in from their lineup, especially since Vamos literally repeated 3 rotations on the XP lane consecutively.
I guess that's why, you know, even with LaFell mentioning on the panel, like, it's a signature hero for Smooth, and Smooth obviously, you know, he knows those limits, but it's not so much for him to get those kills, but it just worked out perfectly for him to be like, hey, Chibi, come on up, you know, get your kills, get your stacks eventually when he had the Sky Piercer too for Chibi, and it's just relatively done wonders for them because even so, Nets hasn't had to do anything. Like, Nets is 0-0-0 right now. He's been just stacked up, having that gold lane experience, farming up everything he needs. He's almost on his 3rd item. He's got the Corrosive Scythe and the Golden Staff. And he's essentially locked and loaded and ready to fight this fight. So we got word we're jumping back into the game. So it looked like all right, the Lord reset a little bit there. Back to it. Nets is going to go ahead and start it up. Pagu trying to get the information. Of course, Boom up on top side. Can join the fight, but they break out. Zoran!
Oh, Soren pops to revitalize AOG defensively, but here comes Chibi. Pagu forces to Glossious Firebay. Look at Chibi with a Wiki Shadow kill. He's not going to take down anyone just yet, but might be enough to keep S2G at bay. And Team Vamos going to try and play this patiently. They're not going to force out anything. While all the while, Boom just working on for the cross-map play, trying to take down the top lane turret.
Great push from Boom to go ahead and push that turret down. Got word that, hey, we don't need you. You can keep pushing. We got to get some control around the map. And also, that was great revitalize from Pagu to go ahead and keep his team topped up in health because of what Chibi tried to do there. Again, he is pretty stacked on this Hayabusa. They're going to go for a fight, Zorn.
Okay, plus the Curtain Call and the Glorious Pathway to bring down Zorn.
They're in trouble. Chibi will be able to get a kill and make it a double. 3 fall for S2G. Boom and begin to try to hold it together. Now Smooth just around the corner. The rest of the team going to start up the Lord. And look at Warlord. He's got information. He's going to back off, but this ultimately results in the Team Vamos. Good try from Boom trying to take that Lord, but Team Vamos will secure the Lord.
This is where you see the immense goal difference of Team Vamos. 4 ultimates just to take down Soren. The Curtain Call was used, the Glorious Pathway as well. They did, however, successfully take down Soren. But after that, Team Vamos was comfortable enough to go and dive in back because they know that S2G used up a lot of resources. Able to take down 3, able to take down the Lord away safely. Even with the attempt of the Spear of Destruction, Team Vamos, it looks like from minute number 1, from second number 1, they're in control of this game. And again, we might not even reach the end game where we see a lot of Moscow players really shine because Team Vamos, they're disciplined enough, but at the same time not afraid to go for those dives because they know that they have an immense lead.
They might try to make it work despite the deficit they're up against. 7,000 now as they watch the tier 2 turrets and the holy defenses being popped here in the base. GB's gonna jump in.
Oh!
Takes a ton of damage. That's Kazooie will be able to get the kill.
A crucial stun there for Pagu. A bit of an overextension from Chibi. They did, however, pop all the holy shield from S2G. That wasn't such a crucial loss for Team Vamos because, again, they're holding on to a 5.6k gold lead. But again, when it comes to the late game...
That's a lot of gold, though.
That's a lot of gold, a lot of shutdown. And to top things off, Sky Piercer got affected from that kill from S2G.
I mean, the fact that Chibi went in for that, I don't think he was expecting to, of course, get stunned, stopped in his tracks, and then killed that quickly. Because that was enough to go ahead and stop that push with that Lord, of course. You know, yes, the shields went down, and maybe that was all they got, but they could have still played around with some of the pressure, you know? Unfortunately, because of that kill, Team Vamos now has to go ahead and just kind of recalibrate and wait for the next push in from the Lord take. But I would say that in a minute, if S2G is able to get something else from this, you can see the stacks there, of course, with the Sky Piercer. If they're able to extend this and maybe get another pickoff on the right targets especially, S2G might be able to crawl back slowly into this game. Pagu's going to take some damage. Smooth joining the fight on the off angle. He's got to be careful on how he approaches it. Gets checked, because you can see here, man, they are starting to show some of those damage profiles from these heroes that S2G brought to the table. I mean, even Boom, like he's got the Trinity, you know, so he is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage himself. Even now checking in on Lunar. Lunar he's at least got an extra item. He's got the anti-Karas at this point.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit more tanky. So now he can kind of weave in and weave out in some of these, physical damage types coming out from Team Vamos and just soak things up, because that's his job at this point. As bad as his early game was, I would say now he's got some use. Like now that he's got a couple items and he can just pop the Vengeance and be a distraction, or even go for the back line if he can, then that might be enough here to change the tides a little bit for S2G Esports. Lord is up. They're going to keep Sigiboom still down, pushing him that tier 1 on the bottom side. They might make a choice to just let this go again and try to defend. They're going to get in range.
Oh, they might try to go in for the contest, but Warlord, though, managing to keep them at bay. A clean take for Team Vamos. While on the other hand, S2G resorting to the cross-map play once again, trying to take down a bottom lane turret. Forced to use the flicker. He's running because he knows Soren might be able to taunt him down. And Chibi's been following up with a lot of initiation started by the rest of the members of Team Vamos. So that's just making sure Sigiboom isn't taken down, because he's really needed for this potential final Lord defense for S2G Esports.
Taking a look here once again before this defense. Both marksmen going to be crucial here. Smooth. Takes a little bit of damage. Conway going to be fine. So still, I'm just waiting for them to go ahead and get that. Oh! As we missed it, I was wondering if it was going to happen.
That's why, because looking at Smooth's item build, it's all damage. He doesn't have to sustain. This might be an opening for S2G. Eventually, their bottom lane inhibitor turret is going to fall down. That's a second level Lord. But that's more than enough for S2G. That's more than what they wanted. And now they might be able to find an opening for another pickoff. And that's the strike contrast of the item builds of these two XP laners, but they want to go for it!
They're going to go for it. Chibi popping the Wiki Shadow Kill now, fighting it out, still going for it too. Vengeance already going to be popped. Oh! Down, and they're looking for more!
One more! Begin Winter Crown! Not enough! A full team wipeout for Team Vamos! Minions marching in onto the middle lane 20 seconds before Pagu is there! And it looks like Team Vamos lives long enough to finally become the heroes of Malaysia!
And S2G's bold march into uncharted territory comes to an end, as Turkey's hopes are left behind on the grand stage of M6. As one of the home teams, Team Vamos will sweep the series and move one step closer to the knockout stage.
The hometown team making their hometown proud with a decisive, finally nice, a decisive series win from Team Vamos.
Again, it's always tough to see